wait. I mean, I don't want to embarrass anybody, so I don't want to make anybody feel awkward if they're not comfortable talking about it. I'm all good with talking about it because I think it's funny. Okay, so this is a good example. See how the top that top must be weight painted to the neck or something. Yes, getting a show, getting a free show. Um, so so just context, I do cosplay a lot, like steampunk cosplay, so a lot of corsets and we joke that like that's the one thing where it's totally okay to just check somebody out. Like you just walk up to them and you just check them out from head to toe. So I feel like that, I'm giving you permission to check out my digital assets here. I wouldn't have made it if I had a problem. So, and here's another one where the top is not that like the upper part of the bust is not moving. So I think what they did is they weight painted it to to the spine. It's so funny when the outfit goes and all of a sudden it's like, guys, honestly, here's what it is. If you ever wondered what it feels like to be a woman and you take your bra off at the end of the day, when this outfit comes off, that's kind of what it feels like. So there you go. I figured, somebody with experience in just jiggle physics should be the one to make jiggle physics. So, Rustan, you can be in charge of whatever emote you need to do to get your other stuff going. Uh, I just realized, like I might get banned from YouTube talking about my new emote, but anyway, gosh. Rustan says he wonders about that 3 times a day. So if I can be cool like you, Rustan, they'll ban me from YouTube. I'm afraid they'll ban me from Decentraland first. So I don't know. I don't know. This one definitely I know was pushing the limits a little bit, but in my honest opinion, that's kind of why we're here, is like to figure out what kind of stuff we can break, what kind of stuff uh I hopefully we don't break all of it, but just breaking enough. All right, I am gonna get the Creator Hub open. So sorry, I'm gonna have to move that screen for just a second. There we go. I know Sin noticed that. Siki canceled me for triggering. Oh my gosh. Rustan, I actually tried making other parts of this emote responsive to body parts. Like I tried to make the butt bounce, but that did not. There's not a bone in the avatar to do that. So it's just it just looked like somebody was having a bad day of doing squats. It did not look good. All right, so let's get going here. Um, okay. All right, I'm getting my screens all messed up so I can show you. Creator Hub, here we go. All right, make sure that it's looking good. One moment. All right, there we go. Should be on Creator Hub here. So welcome everybody. The oh, I hate daylight saving time so much. Daylight saving time is the worst, and so the event is an hour from now. So there's probably going to be fewer people here today, but we'll just continue on. So, good morning. Thank you for coming. Welcome. This is a class that's hopefully just kind of teaching, new users as people get started, some tricks as they go. Today I'm gonna go into the Creator Hub and I'm gonna go back in time. We're gonna go do some time traveling. But I want to point out right here, I already installed this, but it's telling me to do it again. Reminder: always keep I'm gonna move over to this screen. Always keep your Creator Hub up to date. There's some new updates today in the Creator Hub that I think that you'll really like. Oh, we're still saying do the emote again. Yeah, so I'm going to take one moment to upload that. I don't know why it's having it do it more than once, but it is. Oh, guys, we scared Kenzo off. I should have known. Good morning, Bitcoin. And hope everybody has their coffee. This would be awkward, but it's just not. Social proximity is just not a problem anymore. Poor Kenzo. I know. It's, it's okay. It's just the way it goes. They did a smiley face. I don't think they were too awkwardly embarrassed. Maybe they were. I gotta be careful about that. I don't want to be like the old person that's just like embarrassing all the young people. All right, it is still installing. So the Creator Hub, usually when these installations happen, um, there's nothing super big, but today I'm so excited about the changes. Like there's actually some cool changes to the Creator Hub. So we'll get this going. And then after that we're gonna go back in time. I want like there's been this dream of mine to like for the land behind the cantina for quite a while. And I wanted to bring a scene that I did a long time ago back because I loved the scene. It was like super simple. It's nothing fancy. Right, here we go. Make sure we're there. Nothing fancy, however, it's cool and it's kind of like sometimes fancy doesn't like well, I shouldn't say the word fancy because fancy's a person here, but sometimes like technologically more complicated doesn't mean better. So what I want to do is go. This is probably not going to be relevant for most people. Maybe not even anybody actually. But I do want to show you, like, if you had old scenes in the old Creator Hub, like the old editor, this is the Creator Hub, this is the new one. But if you were building back in 2000 and, I mean, 2019, 2020, 2021, all of your scenes are going to be somewhere else. And I love going back there and getting them because it's actually like memory lane. It's so cool. So to find them, it is kind of hidden because I think they don't want you to go do, they just like, come on, upgrade to the Creator Hub. You're going to go into more, and then you're going to go into the Legacy Web Editor. And then this one is going to be, it's going to take you, way old. And look, it's like, hey, do you want to, like, basically, do you want to upgrade and just ignore it? Be like, no, I'm not, I don't want to be with the times. I'm old. And so this is all the old stuff that I ever did back in the old builder. So if you go back, this is literally my first scene that I've done in this profile. This is not my 2019 profile. Sadly, those files are in a computer that I forgot the password. So if I wanted to go into like my 2019 files, like I think I built out like 140 parcels of pirate land. Like it was freaking awesome. And all my first builds, that is there. But you'll recognize some of these, they're really old. The reason that these are so important for me to like go back into if you were an old builder is to see the progress of like where you started versus where you are now. Um, all of these, usually I had like an ulterior way of getting up to the top. And because back then you could not trust elevators. They were not always working. Um, and so this is like gold to me to not lose these because I think they do tell a story of Decentraland. But there's also assets in these old builds that you can still use. Like if you look at these, this is the Decentraland community. It was like an ice skating rink. You'll recognize I just took this and put it right into the Winterfest build. I didn't build all that from scratch because I am kind of lazy and I didn't want to do all that work again. So I could just go in here, grab bits and pieces, and put them somewhere else. This scene here is an old lodge. I tried to do the same, but it just the way I built it, it didn't work that way. Um, yeah, you can see how many times I did this one, a bunch of times. So having like old pieces of a build that you maybe can't access other ways, or you just want to have it excuse me, have it all in one place together, it's really important to go into these old builds and be able to grab that. This this is one that I call just me doing shit, literally. And that when you have a POI, that is the title that shows up. So just be careful that you don't accidentally that is what the POI said. So all right, but what I want to go into is just because I could. So you gotta love my naming conventions. All right, I'm moving too fast, so I'm going to do edit screen, and then again, it wants you to use the SDK7, I'm going to use the 6. Um, the only reason you do this really anymore is to go grab some of this stuff. The reason that this matters to me is because so this is probably not going to be relevant to most people. I deleted the original file, so I do not have this on my computer anymore. I have tried to find it. Don't worry about the flower. That can just go away. I couldn't find this. So I have searched and searched and searched, but I believe I deleted it trying to make space for something else. And so luckily it's still here, and it is an amazing build just to show like size and scale of things that you can do in Decentraland. So I'm going to go kind of quick just because you probably won't use a lot of this, but if you do, you really do. So that is it on the scene. I'm going to go back out here, and what you'll see is download scene. And you can, again, it's download scenes. I don't know what that transition scene. Yeah, so again, they want you to go to the SDK. It's like they keep advertising, dude, go to the SDK. And so what you're going to do is just save it. It's a compressed file. And so from there, you can unzip it and move it into a blend file, which is where we're going right now. I made a few of these steps just a little bit quicker, hopefully, as long as it opens. And here we go. This is absolutely it's a game changer for me. Like this, I wanted this build so bad, and I could not find it anywhere. So just getting it back, having access to it is a really big deal. The reason that I think that this is important for us to do, just to go over in a builder class, is to see what you can do with kind of a little bit more land. This is a build created for a 9-piece parcel. And we've been working on creating stuff here in this class, like we did a cyberpunk building one day, and then the past 2 weeks we've done a cyberpunk club. And so we're kind of building towards like a theme, and actually just we're building towards creating like more than just one scene. We're working towards creating a city, and that's not an accident. I will go over here to Decentraland, and I will show you here. Okay, there's our, if you didn't get the OP badge, grab the OP badge. And then this is the scene over here, which I think if anybody wants to kind of build out a bigger area, having some kind of base to build on is like the starting point. So that to me is why this one was so important, because I didn't want to redo it. It's a lot of work, and I just wanted to like leave it as it is. So here we go. We're walking through it, and when you walk out, I mean, this is a freaking city, and I mean, I think it is. I don't want to be like tooting my own horn, but I do think that it turned out really well. And there's a few reasons, I think, artistically speaking, that you can do this in your build and get this feeling of like you're in a city, even though it's only 9 pieces of land. And actually, I could have made this smaller. And what that is, I would say 100% is forced perspective. If you're an artist, you'll kind of know, like, okay, like you'll know what forced perspective is. But what that means is like, I want these to appear like buildings far, far away, but they're not. They're just a tiny little square right here. But if I make the windows small, I can make it look like you're in a cityscape. And then also having like these pieces kind of protrude, project up into the air. Those look bigger. And then also color, like having objects that are closer to you, like brighter. If they're further away, they're a little bit darker. Um, so that's kind of what I tried to do with this. Now I think, yeah, I gotta go back through here to get out. And run back to the cantina. Oh, Rishi's doing more. Oh my gosh. So now that we have like a city, and we have the Hex Club, and we have the other building that we made, we're able to slowly start piling these pieces on top of each other. And so whether you're going for like a cyberpunk build, or maybe you're like, you want to do a country western scene, like a city or something like that, all of it's pretty much just like available right there for you. So I'm going to go back to Blender. This is my scene. You kind of saw what it looked like. There's pieces down here on the bottom that I could add from the creator hub, all of those assets yet. But what I would think that we don't do enough in Decentraland is have venues up above. Like literally, guys, why do we not have stuff going on in skyscrapers? Each one of these buildings right here could be its own, its own club. Like, and I think it's time to do that. So let's see. I don't know if this one would be a good one to do it, but I want to move the Hex Club in here. That might get to the top of the building limitations. So maybe we'll do the Hex Club right here. So what I'm going to do is there's a bunch of ways I could do it. I could just open a new blend session. Let's see if I can find it. How much stuff did I open this week? A lot of stuff. So let me find that. Let's see, build it forward. Hex Club, there we go. All right. So when you're moving stuff, I mean, the normal way I would do is just grab this sucker, copy, paste. That is totally one way to do it. You can also import it. Like if I have already exported this scene, like you would have to do that, just the normal settings, selected objects, animation, active actions merged, make sure it's all good for export. I can also do it that way. So if I go back into this, and now I go File, Import, and then I go into the Hex Club, it'll bring it right in. I don't know if there's one way that's better than the other, but that tool that we just used right there is really important for importing this scene when you come in, or if you get somebody's blend file. Like you can't just open like the zipped file and just put it in. So you do have to kind of make some adjustments there. Okay, so this is way bigger than I thought, but that's okay. We can put it down here, make it fit right in, or we could put it next door. But I kind of like the idea of having it right here because there's a lot going on in the scene, and that is how like cyberpunk cities, I think, normally look. Let's see. Gosh, what I want to do is like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. If I click off of this guy, then I'm going to lose it. I could join it as one object right now to make sure that I don't accidentally do that. So I'm going to have to like do some repositioning, I think. So which one of these buildings should I cut out at the bottom? This guy's kind of fugly. But I do love that to make it look like a building, all you had to do is just start adding some geometric stuff. Let's see. This guy's kind of cool. Like cool, but not very cool at the bottom. So let's take this one out. What I would like to do is hide everything. Um, oh, I don't know if I could do that. I might be too scared. I'm sure there's a way where I could be like hide, hide, hide all these. Uh, but what I think I'll do is create the shell, like duplicate this piece, and then move it over here because I know that that's the size it has to be. And that's going to be pretty cool if there's like randomly a club that's just perfectly right in the middle of this village. And then let's see, can we turn it? 180, negative 180. See that, Riston? See what I did there? Okay, so now I kind of know everything in this sucker has to get cut. And I'm having a hard time like telling where the bottom is. Like it's just kind of confusing because look at I did all this stuff underneath. Um, I'm gonna do Shift A. I'm gonna add a plane, and then I'm gonna make it big. I'm gonna make this sucker big. So now I know where the top and the bottom is. So, oh my gosh, look at that, guys. There's like another world down there. I don't know if that's bad, but it's sloppy. Like I definitely, you can see I even cut something right there. And this was one of my first builds in Decentraland and or like in Blender. So I definitely did not know what I was doing. I'm gonna take that out of there. I don't know what that's there for. But basically now I need to just chop everything here. Let's see. Wow, look at that. It's all black. What was Canessa doing back then? I don't know why I did that. That's funny. So I'm going to use a cube. Make it big. I'm just going to cut everything that I see overlapping with the hex club so I can just put it in there. Yep, good. And I don't think there's too many objects here to do this with. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a cool thing I made here. It's like a hamster tube to run through, and I don't want to ruin that. So, what I might do is go like there. Okay. And then Hex Club, you got to go down like that. Okay. So that'll work. I don't want to get rid of that hamster tube. I like that hamster tube. I'll just squish the club a little bit. So I'm going to grab this building, wrench, add modifier, generate, boolean, eyedropper, big cube, arrow apply. And now this one I can kind of like see how much I still need to cut. It's a lot. It's a lot that I need to cut. What's next? This guy. I think a lot of these too I could just take out of here once once I see like how much is left. Like this thing I can just delete. This I can delete. This. I don't know what that was. These guys aren't. Now I need the cube. And that one in there. Oop, that one didn't do it. That one, okay. So this is a collider. So that one. I don't want to leave a collider, even though it's invisible. You'd get in there and you'd walk into it. So don't want to do that. All right, so there's most everything is gone. There's this one, which is kind of cool. Now I'm like, how did I make that? The other thing I could do is since there's still, you know, probably like 4 pieces to this, is just grab them all and I'll just make them go up through the editing tool. There should be one more. Oh, no, there's not. All right. This is a funny scene. I think also like I think it's good for us to go back into our old scenes because it really shows us how much we have grown. I would highly recommend it because now I'm like seeing things just from a short time ago that I'm like, I would never, ever do it like this. Like, why did I build it like this? And so I think it helps you be a better builder. Anything that can help you be a better builder is going to help. All right, there we go. That looks cool. These guys, same thing. We don't have to cut everything, just shorten them up. Go. All right, how about now? That looks pretty good. I don't see anything in there. I also see the door like underneath, which kind of sucks. Um, because I'm gonna have to flatten it, which means my animated elevator that we made last week is not gonna work the same. So boo-hoo, gonna have to figure something out with that. All right, but that works. So now that I know this piece right here is good, I'm gonna leave that just because now all I have to do is line up the real club with that. Grab that, not select the bottom, and move it over here. Rotate, and I know I need it like negative 180. So negative 180. Okay. And now smush, I guess. Smush it so that we have enough room. Hamster tube still works. Is that good? Yes, that's good up there. A little bit too far. The cool thing about this is now you can like stand up at the top. And okay, that bottom part works. There's a giant ball. I think it's like an energy orb. I don't know what it was when I made it. Things don't always have to have a purpose necessarily. All right, I think that's going to work. The only thing that's not going to work is the elevator. And let's push it that way. I don't know, guys. I really love this. I love that like there could be multiple scenes in one big scene. And like, well, I'm definitely moving. I'm definitely going somewhere with this. I may not say what it is, but it's I think it'll be cool when it's done. All right, what is that thing right there? Oh no, I know what that is. That is the other original. So I can just delete that. We don't need it anymore. And there you go. Like literally taking something that I made years ago and just jamming something that I made now in it and hoping hoping that this doesn't go too far on the side, which I think it would. So let me grab this and actually pull it back in because I don't want it to hang out too much. Okay. This scene is a little bit smaller than it's like the room that it's given, so it's going to be fine, but you know, there we go. All right, and that just means that this guy that it's interfering with, I just have to move that. I don't know what this thing is. It's probably like a radio communication tower. When I made it, that's what I was like, what would look good in a steampunk, or not steampunk, I'm sorry, cyberpunk. Cyberpunk build. The wonderful thing about steampunk, cyberpunk, all of this stuff is that there are no rules and you do get to decide like what is here, like what is this place. Like it's totally normal that there's a giant freaking ball right here. Like obviously it's a communication tower, you know. Okay, so there we go. Now if I have a collider on the top of this, because if I don't have a collider, people are going to fall through. So I'm going to just Shift D, duplicate, rename active item model, collider. All right, and there we go. The Hex Club. I do wish the Hex Club was bigger, so maybe I would put it like, I don't know. You know what would be cool actually is to make it 2 stories tall. Like, what if I just nuke all of this stuff? Oh, but I have my hamster tube. Oh, hamster tube might have to go. Let's see. Let's grab all that and like, let's take it there. You know what we could do actually is just flatten this because then we're going to get that forced perspective. And nobody needs to know that it's not a real building. It just looks like a real building. There. Or you guys might be like, Canessa, no, it's not that cool. Simmer down. All right, get rid of those guys. This thing reminds me of the Sears Tower. So, like, big inspiration for me is always like, I don't know, I love Disneyland. And Disneyland is how they make the Princess Castle look so big. It's that's all it is forced perspective. You'll actually, if I really wanted to do forced perspective, I would make these windows on the bottom, oops, bigger, just ever so slightly, um, than the top. And I'd have that, the narrowing. So if you've ever been to Disneyland and seen the castle, it looks huge, but by the time you get to the top of it, it's just like miniature. So I think if we do that more into Decentraland, we'll get more of that feeling of like, wow, this is a real big city. This is far away. All right, but let's see what we can do with. All right, I'm gonna nuke this guy. I know I said I think the hamster tubes are cool, but maybe it's just like not that cool. All right, so now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to import another hex club, and I'm going to rotate it -180. And then see if I can just stack this. So in Decentraland, if each one of us made a cyberpunk building, you know how fast we could have an area populated? Like this. We would just have cool, eclectic stuff that would populate, a small area way, way faster, I think, than we realize. So now I'm going to take the hex club off from down here. The bottom is like, I don't know what it is, but I could change it. But then the top, ooh, look at that. To get to the hex club, you got to go through there. So now I need a little cutting tool. Oh, I'm like even loving this better. Oh, that is so cool. I almost kind of want to like shrink the bottom down, but that's okay. All right. Shift A. I'm going to get a cylinder, bring it up over here. I need to make a hole in this wall. So rotate it, eyeball it. I love these hamster tubes because when I first made it, you can go all over the scene. You could go up on the very top. It was really like cool for exploring, and it was one of the first scenes that I did in Blender. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can do all this, and I thought it was really cool. And I still think it's cool just because I was proud of it. All right, so let's see. Might be easier if I go in here. Oh, look at that. That looks ugly. All right, so I'm gonna grab my building. Can't really see that it's highlighted, but I know it is. Boolean, eyedropper, cutting tool, apply, and now I want to do the collider. Or actually, no, I'm gonna delete the collider because I'm just gonna do it again. Now this guy, I don't want it to stick out, so I'm gonna go into object mode. Oh god, good gosh, look at that. I think now I would make it way more, way less triangles. Do the same thing with this guy's collider. So I think, as you're moving stuff around, just get used to like kind of always doing things twice because it's just usually what has to be done. Okay. That's not pretty, but it's, it's good for now. That is so cool, to be honest. um, all of the animations we did are not going to work though. In my mind. Let me just test it. Yep, see, okay. So, oh no, 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 no. How do I undo it? Okay. Because if go back to high school, I believe it is a ninth grade standard to learn about XYZ coordinates. You use it all the time, but definitely I remember helping my students a lot in ninth grade. When I animated this, I said for each one of these pieces to be at, whatever these chords are down here. And then I moved the whole thing. I moved the item, but I didn't move the animation. So it's literally just doing what I told it to do. It's still where I wanted it to be because each one of these keyframes has a specific XYZ coordinate and it's down here on the ground. So I kind of buggered that right here. And I'm undoing it, Control Z, and it's not going back. So I think, I don't know why it's not going back. If, so I would probably want it animated, and I'd probably go through the work of just reanimating it here on the scene. But the other thing you can do is just get rid of all this and then import this scene into the Creator Hub, and then you can just import the Hex Club on top of it. And then all of those animations will stay wherever you put them. So it's just kind of like, depends on what you want to do. And I think a lot of times it's really important to start your build knowing how you're going to build it. Because usually you'll find something like halfway through and then it's like, oh, this would be so much easier if I would have done this way earlier. So be that, yeah, I don't know. There's our elevator. So now there's no elevator to get to the top of this one. But maybe I will do that. Just like get rid of it here. And then I'll import it in the Creator Hub separately. Because that won't be too hard. I'm just going to look at it. Make sure it looks good. All right. And then I'm going to get rid of this bottom. And I'm just going to highlight it all. Oh, and there are animations. So these animations, I bet, are in this first club. That would be my guess. I don't know. Nope. I'm just going to get rid of them because I don't know where they're coming from. And sometimes you can get into weird things. Like if you're bringing in keyframes from one blend file to another, it can be kind of funky. All right, so I've got all of that, and then I'm going to save it. I'm just trying to think if I should save it as something else, but I think I'll save it. Export, selected files. All right, so now over to Creator Hub. And let's see, I did CBD Scene City already. Scene City, sounds like Sin City. All right, and now I'm gonna do, oh, that looks so good. That looks so good. I don't know, it's just, you can tell Canessa discovered emissions that day. It's always funny when you could tell by your old builds, like, wow, I sure was excited about emissions. And then you'll like overuse it. Okay, I'm going to import this guy. Import, and where did I put that one? Build it forward. Did I put it there? Where did I have it? Build it forward. Yes. All right. I remember where I did it. Oh my gosh, my brain. What did I? My brain is just having a moment. All right, Cyberpunk City. I think I'm fighting a little cold, and I'm not getting sick. I think my brain is like not doing good. Okay, file name already exists. It will just automatically override that. Replace. Now you can start seeing some of these changes in the Creator Hub, which I wanted to talk about. Um, we will put this in, get it looking pretty. Now, all right, I'm like, I already messed with the scene, so now I'm gonna tell you. Here's one thing I found. It doesn't work when you move it, and then it will. So like if you're trying to do something and it doesn't work, I think it's gotta wait for a second to catch up. Hit some of these other tools, and it does. Now it's like really laggy. Let's try that. See how it's not moving? And then all of a sudden it will. So I think maybe they'll fix that, but it definitely made me feel like something wasn't working this morning. There we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna line it up. I think we need to give ourselves a little room here. And again, I'm waiting for that yellow border to go away. There it is. But I want to take advantage of all the room that I can. So okay, look at how I moved the club in. We could go back there and give this so much more room. It doesn't have to feel, that claustrophobic, which is really cool. And I don't want to resize it right now because I want to put that other club on top. All right, so now import. Let's see, I'm going to make sure I know the hex club, build it forward. Okay. Import assets, the hex club. Let's see, that one. And then I'm assuming that I exported that one correctly because maybe I didn't and the animations won't work, but I usually do if I know there's animations in it. All right, so this one, I'm gonna try to fit it right on top. And, oh, you know what? When I did this, remember the hole I cut? That was the hole that I had in the club, not this one. So we're just gonna do this. We're gonna make it, it'll have like a, actually, it doesn't even matter. Let's make it like this. Give ourselves enough room that somebody can come out of the habit trail hamster tube. And I'll fix it later, but this way, you still get to come in. And now that one, if I hit the right buttons, it should animate just fine, and it should not be affected by any of the XY issues. But I have to hit right here, start playing, and loop, and that should work. Oh, I'm already so excited about it. Let's see. I think I can publish it. I can't preview while I'm doing while I'm in Decentraland at the same time. So I'll wait for a second on that. Okay, so another thing that I think is the coolest thing about this new update is the spawn point. So right up here at the top, you'll see, player, and let's see, I don't know, is Fancy here today? I see other people have jumped in. Thank you for being here. So I don't see Fancy, but Fancy and I were talking about how do you know how big to make a scene, because it's super annoying because you don't know if this is like 20 feet tall or 200 feet tall. But look what they added, you guys. They added a cool avatar. And now I know like exactly how big my scene is. This is such a game changer because it's going to make it so much easier for new builders. Like I think if you've been building a long time, you've got your tricks, like I know I can put in a default cube and it's 2 meters, which is like 6 feet tall. So I know it's like the size of a human. This is big. This is so big, but watch. But I feel like I'm in a ShamWow commercial. Like, but wait, there's more. Okay, so if I want to play with the spawn area, Rastan, I like my pumpkins. I gotta have my pumpkin. That's how if anybody doesn't know, that's how I can tell where my spawn area is, because I'm I can be like, all right, 2.2, 1.3. So now I can go back over here. I can hit 2.2 and 1.3 or 1.5. Look at how it automatically moved Joe. It moved him right over here. And so it is easier than ever to discover and decide where you want somebody to spawn in. If I wanted somebody to spawn in, like maybe I don't want them to struggle getting to the club, because really, like, new users or people on mobile, it probably is a good idea to not let them struggle. If you're my friend, I am going to let you struggle. I'm going to make like a crazy scene and you're not going to ever know how to get it. Just kidding. Um, this part also, if I can do it, like, I don't know if you can see how they're moving a little bit, but the camera too, like, you can see where they're looking. If I want them to zoom in or to spawn in and look at something, like, you definitely want to know what people are looking at when they're if you put the spawn point up in the air, like here, like this would be super impactful if they spawned, let's say they spawned here and they're falling and they land like right in the middle. That would be a totally different experience if you had them facing this way and they spawn in and now they're like, boom, like it's not near the same impact. So having them face the direction you want to, I think, is awesome. And then this is awesome, like randomized area. Just drop them all over your scene. I like that because I don't know, it just seems more real, like random and organic, just to have people all over your scene. You can kind of tell if somebody is always spawning in the same place and people are AFK and they don't come back. You're like, all right, I know you're gone. Um, okay, so now I could, I could take my pumpkin. I could still do it this way, like manually giving it the chords. But now I can just grab this guy and bring him down, which is just crazy, to be honest. Like, gosh, okay, here's a thought. I'm just thinking about it. What if they spawned into this club and then they realized, like, they're in the top floor of some psycho crazy city? That'd be so cool. Now I don't know what I want to do. Now I kind of want to put them up here because also there's nowhere to get. No, you can get up there. You can't get up there. Okay, I think I want to do that. Like, let's set that as the spawn point. Oh, you know what would be even cooler? What if they spawned into these little dance thingies that we put in last week? Oh, I'm like so excited about this. This is really cool. You could spawn them into, like, I don't know, a maze or something that they have to get out of. It's pretty cool. Okay, so I think this is a good place to stop. I hope that I feel like we didn't do a lot of like big new stuff today, but I think that like bringing in builds, like figuring out how to recycle old builds that you've already done in a new way, I think is really good. And then also just like seeing how you can take multiple projects and just work them towards like a bigger project, like a cyberpunk city. All right, so I'm gonna go back to Decentraland, and hello, peace. Hello. And then I'm gonna just run over to the this isn't the finished one, but it is right over here next door. And look at Rishi's is like, I did not coordinate with her. Well, but it's like on brand with Cyberpunk, so it's really cool. So I'm gonna run over here. Over here. All right, so next time I refresh, those two clubs will be over here on this side. But I do want to show you, like, oh, this is actually really hard. I think if somebody was on mobile, they'd not be able to get all of these different places. But this was a build definitely for people who want to, like, explore. This is the hamster tube. So you can, like, see out of it, but you can't get out of it. And then this one, this is what it's going to lead you right to the club. And then on the other side, it kind of does the same thing. And then eventually, like the old build I had, I think it didn't import all the way, but you could get up to the very top. And there. I always had these things for my hamsters where you could, let's see if I can do this. You could like, they could go through it, but they can't get out. There, like that. Okay, so here we have it. Now, if I just put a whole bunch of these together, I think we could build up this entire area really quick, and a lot of the themes and the different stuff that people already have kind of goes along with this theme, which is really cool. Um, I think recycling this old stuff is, I guess for me, I didn't want to have to rebuild this. That the fact that I could go grab it and bring it out and grab some of my other stuff and build it out is a really big deal because it's otherwise I'm gonna have to like spend another 2 weeks building this when I could be building something else. So I don't think I can get out unless I use the door. I made it so that you can't get out there. Okay. I got stuck in the wall. Okay, for people that weren't here earlier, I activated the glider at the beginning of the stream. I don't even know how, but it. Ooh, there's a glider. Did I say glider or glider? But yeah, I did the glider. It was so cool. Yay! Oh my gosh, if you're over 30, you're a boomer. Well, okay, so if people have questions, you're welcome to ask questions. Again, this one I think was kind of simple, but it gives us a, like, now we have a city to work from, and I want to kind of build that out. And then you could add little buildings as we go and kind of like Lego it together. Um, like the way we just set those two buildings on top of each other. I think that would be really cool. And I don't know, I'm like so happy that I got that build back because I know it's nothing super fantastic, but it was like, I like the aesthetic, I like the vibe. We've had good memories there. That's been a cool place. And I want to keep building that out. So there we are. Yeah, thank you everybody for listening in, for being here. If you guys have questions about anything, let me know. If you need to go grab old builds from the old SDK 6 and bring them back to SDK 7, let me know. Otherwise, we will go on our way. I can't wait to see what everybody is building, and I hope everybody just keeps like doing cool stuff. So, thank you for being here. Jay, I love your hair. I don't know what you're doing, but I love your hair. Bitcoin, I love the conversation. All right, you guys, have a good day. Thank you for being here. Grab that OP badge. It'll be up for 24 hours. And I'm guessing people are just going to arrive now because I got the event page wrong. And tomorrow, come to the Mardi Gras. We got Severus 7, a Twitch DJ who's going to be playing for us, and it's going to be awesome. So thank you so much, you guys. Have a good day, and we will see you next time. Bye.